Okay, so you're here,
Yeah.
right? You want to kind of like figure out a smarter way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
You're tired of the information overload.
Yeah.
You just want those like those aha moments
Mm-hmm.
that are going to help you get ahead.
Exactly.
So today we're going deep on something pretty amazing, which is creating real income streams from home
Yeah.
and not just like those side hustles that feel like a whole other full-time job and just bring in like, pennies.
Right. Right.
We're talking about tapping into AI,
Yeah.
specifically ChatGPT,
Right.
and using it to build something with real like staying power and flexibility.
For sure. I mean, this is changing the way we think about earning from home, you know?
Absolutely.
We've looked at a bunch of different options and we've landed on 5 super sharp business ideas
Eh?
that leverage ChatGPT to help you, build meaningful income, scalable income,
Yeah.
all from your own space.
From your own space. And it's amazing because these aren't just like, trends that are going to fade away.
Right.
It's about, building something solid.
Yeah.
So let's dive into these genius ideas.
All right. Let's do it.
So, number one, this is fascinating. Becoming a ghostwriter for busy CEOs.
Yeah.
What does that even look like in practice?
So there's a couple of things happening at the same time here that are really interesting.
Okay.
You've got like business leaders, particularly CEOs.
Yeah.
They understand the value in building their personal brand,
Right.
especially on a platform like LinkedIn.
Oh, for sure.
And they know that like sharing their expertise, sharing their stories, it can open up a ton of opportunities.
Absolutely.
But these people are incredibly busy.
Right.
They don't have the time to just like sit down and write amazing content all the time.
Exactly. And that is where you come in.
Exactly.
Like, imagine this. You're interviewing a CEO maybe like once a week.
Okay.
You're diving deep into their experiences, the lessons they've learned. And here's where ChatGPT comes in and becomes like your superpower. So you can use ChatGPT to come up with like really insightful questions to ask them during the interview that are going to draw out their unique perspective. You can create like adaptable content framework.
Templates, yeah.
So you're not always starting from scratch.
Totally.
And then, imagine taking that one conversation and with the help of ChatGPT, turning it into multiple engaging posts.
Exactly.
Like a whole thread of insights or a standalone article, or maybe even like the bare bones for a longer piece of content.
And the process can be super efficient, too. You take that recording of your interview, you get a transcript, you can even have ChatGPT help you structure it,
Yeah.
right, based on those templates that you've already created.
Right.
You fine-tune the wording to sound like them, like it's their authentic voice, get their approval, and then schedule it all out for them.
Yeah.
It's about making their valuable knowledge accessible and impactful for others
Exactly.
without taking up a lot of their already limited time.
Exactly. And I think this is so important. As these CEOs start seeing the results, more engagement on their posts, their network growing, their brand getting stronger, you know what happens?
Word of mouth.
They tell people.
Right.
Happy clients become your best source of referrals. And that's what fuels the growth of your ghostwriting business.
It really does.
And, for you listening, think about it. How often do you wish you could take like a long conversation or a long article and like boil it down to the essence quickly and easily?
Mm-hmm.
This is what AI can do. This first business idea is like a prime example of that.
Yeah.
It takes those raw insights and turns them into valuable content that in turn builds a business for you.
And it does it efficiently.
All right, let's move on to idea number 2. Creating and selling digital products.
Okay.
Now, this taps into that whole idea of, passive income,
Absolutely.
which is so alluring, right?
It is.
Earning money even when you're not actively working.
Yep.
So tell me about that.
Well, the real beauty of digital products, I'm talking about ebooks that solve a specific problem, templates that streamline, a process, guides that offer step-by-step solutions,
Yeah.
online courses that teach valuable skills.
Yeah.
The beauty of these is they can scale.
Right.
Once you put in that upfront work to create it, the cost of selling each additional copy,
Nothing.
practically nothing.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT can help you out big time in that creation phase.
Oh, for sure. Like, think about it.
Mhm.
If you've got expertise in something, ChatGPT can help you structure that knowledge into like a really compelling ebook, draft the chapters, even refine your writing so it's clear and engaging.
Okay.
And the same idea applies to creating templates, like for social media planning, for project management, or even outlining a whole online course.
Absolutely.
But the key here, the starting point, is finding a real need.
Right.
What are the problems that people are facing that your knowledge or your skills can actually address?
Yeah.
And you can draw on your own experiences for that.
Hmm.
Or, even use tools like Google Keyword Planner to see what people are actively searching for online.
Right.
That research helps make sure that the digital product you're creating is something people actually want.
That they'll pay for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got to make sure people can find it
Right.
and buy it.
Right.
So that involves creating, sales pages.
Right.
That's your online real estate where you convince people your product is worth their money.
Exactly.
Creating email sequences that guide potential buyers, answer their questions,
Yeah.
and using social media to get the word out.
Yeah. It's a whole process.
It's a process.
And ChatGPT can help you generate content for each of those stages.
Exactly. And how you price it is important too.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe an entry-level price between like $27 and $97.
Right.
That's a sweet spot.
It is.
It makes it easier to get those initial sales, build some momentum.
Exactly.
And if you're delivering real value and you make it easy for people to buy, that recurring income from digital product sales can really add up.
It can be a game changer.
So for those listening, the big aha here is you can leverage what you already know or, maybe new knowledge that you get with ChatGPT's help.
Yeah.
Create a product once and potentially sell it over and over and over again.
Exactly.
And that creates a scalable income stream with relatively little ongoing effort once you've created the thing.
I love it.
Okay, business idea number 3. Launching an email marketing agency.
Ooh.
Now, some people might think email is like old news.
Right, right.
But the reality is,
The reality is that email marketing still delivers one of the highest returns on investment in the whole digital marketing world.
yeah,
Businesses, big and small, rely on email to connect with their customers,
Yeah.
to nurture leads,
Yeah.
drive sales.
Yeah.
The problem is many of them just don't have the time, the skills, or even the desire to write good emails consistently.
Exactly. Think about all the different types of emails businesses need.
Oh, so many.
Welcoming new subscribers,
Right.
sharing valuable info through newsletters,
Mm-hmm.
guiding people through a sales process, even following up on, abandoned online shopping carts.
So amazing.
That's a ton of writing.
It is.
And ChatGPT can be a huge asset here.
It really can. What's really cool is how ChatGPT can help you create a bunch of email templates for different purposes and even specific industries.
Yeah.
Once you understand those core principles of good email writing, like having a clear call to action and understanding your audience, ChatGPT can help you generate different versions, personalize the content in a snap, and, overcome that writer's block.
Right. And it's not just about sending out those mass emails.
No.
You can actually focus on creating personalized onboarding sequences
Right.
that build trust with the new subscribers.
Yeah.
Writing those really compelling follow-up emails after you have a sales call, or even creating those satisfaction surveys.
Yes.
That can turn your happy clients into advocates
Right.
who are
Yeah.
going to recommend your services.
Absolutely.
And how do you charge for this?
So there's some flexibility there. You could charge a fee for every email that you write.
Okay.
Maybe between $50 to $150, depending on how complex it is.
Okay.
Or you could offer these monthly retainer packages,
Right.
where you basically manage their entire email marketing strategy for a recurring fee.
Right.
But no matter what you do, you've got to emphasize the results you're getting for them. Better open rates, more click-throughs, and ultimately, more sales.
Yep. Show that value.
Exactly.
So for you listening, this is a very practical, tangible service that you can offer.
Mm-hmm.
And with those pricing examples, you can start to see how this could become a structured and profitable business.
Absolutely.
Okay, number 4 on our list is developing AI training programs for professionals.
Ooh, interesting.
This is all about helping other people navigate, this fast-changing world of AI.
Exactly. I mean, the potential of tools like ChatGPT is becoming more and more obvious.
Yeah.
But a lot of professionals and businesses haven't really figured out how to use them effectively in their everyday work.
Right.
And that creates a real need for people who can help bridge that gap.
Yeah.
And you can do that through targeted training programs.
You basically become like the translator.
The guide.
The guide, yeah.
Yeah.
You're showing them how to actually apply this powerful tech in practical ways.
Mm-hmm.
So it's industry specific, tailored to different roles.
Exactly.
And the professionals who get good at using these AI tools, they're going to have a huge advantage.
Absolutely.
But those who don't, they risk falling behind.
Yeah.
And that's a problem
It is.
that people are willing to pay to solve.
Yeah. It's a pain point.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So how do you structure these training programs?
You can combine different learning methods, which is super effective.
Okay.
So you can have video tutorials
Uh,
showing real-world examples of AI in action in specific professions.
cool.
You can offer ready-to-use prompt templates that learners can instantly take and use. And you can even do personalized coaching sessions
Awesome.
for more one-on-one support.
That's a great package.
Yeah.
And the smart move here, as we've heard, is to start with an industry you know really well,
Right?
because you understand the unique challenges and opportunities of that field.
Exactly.
That allows you to create, training content that is super relevant and impactful.
Yeah.
And then once you've had some success, you've built a good reputation in that niche, then you can think about branching out
Right.
to related industries.
Exactly.
So you listening, this is about staying ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
By building these AI training programs, you're not only making money,
Right.
you're becoming a valuable resource.
Right.
You're empowering other professionals with skills that are crucial for the future.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our fifth and final business idea. Starting an AI-powered research business.
Okay, fun.
So if you've ever enjoyed, digging into information, researching, this one could be for you.
I love research.
Businesses always need to make good decisions, and good decisions depend on good research.
Solid data.
Yeah, exactly. But traditionally, doing in-depth market research, competitor analysis, figuring out emerging trends, that could take weeks or months
A ton of time.
of really tedious work.
Yeah.
But ChatGPT and other large language models,
Yeah.
they change the game completely.
You really do.
Because the speed at which you can research thoroughly and accurately, it just goes way up.
It's so much faster.
It's amazing, and this speed creates a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
For anyone who can ask the right research questions and turn that information into insights that are, clear and actionable.
Exactly.
So think about it. Businesses need to understand who their target market is,
Yeah.
what their competitors are up to, and what's happening in their industry.
For sure.
You can offer those services. You can use AI to sift through mountains of data quickly, find those key patterns and connections, and generate those, really professional-looking reports.
Right.
And our source also mentioned something really important, which is using other AI models specifically for fact-checking.
Yes. So important.
So you're double-checking your findings.
Exactly.
That just adds a whole other level of credibility to the research you're giving to your client.
Absolutely.
And how you structure your research services can change depending on how deep the analysis needs to be, what the deliverables are.
Right. Different tiers.
Yeah. But the potential project fees,
Yeah.
which could be anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000.
Wow.
That shows you how much businesses value good research.
Absolutely.
And the best part,
What's that?
you can run this entire business remotely.
Oh, I love that.
So you're that person who loves those surprising facts, who loves to learn efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
AI transforms how fast we can do research.
Yeah.
It allows you to give your clients valuable insights so much quicker than traditional methods.
It's a game changer.
So we've explored these 5 different business ideas.
Yeah.
What are some of the common threads that tie them all together?
Well, some key themes really jump out. First of all, ChatGPT is at the center.
Yeah.
It's about using it to boost your productivity and make your output even better.
Yeah.
It lets people do more in less time, more efficiently.
For sure.
Second, it doesn't cost a lot to get started.
Right.
You can start any of these businesses without a ton of money up front. Basically, you need a reliable laptop and good internet.
That's it. And I think it's important to stress, you're not reinventing the wheel here.
Right.
You're not learning totally new skills from scratch. You're building on what you already know and what you're good at.
Exactly.
You're just using AI to do it in a new way.
Yeah, you're leveraging it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to manage physical inventory, deal with complicated tech setups, or hire a bunch of people to get started.
Exactly. Keep it simple.
And the fact that you can work remotely
Yeah.
with all the flexibility that brings,
Yeah.
that's a huge plus. You
Yeah.
can build these income streams from anywhere in the world.
I love it.
And there's a real advantage to being an early adopter.
Right.
The people who jump in and master these AI-powered business models now,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be in a prime position to benefit as AI continues to evolve.
They are.
So, as you've been listening, you've probably been thinking about which of these ideas click with you,
Yeah.
which ones match your skills, your interests, and your income goals.
Totally.
So here's a final thought. AI is changing so fast, and it's creating all these new possibilities.
It is.
Which of these paths to more freedom and flexibility resonates with you?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even more importantly, what's one small step you could take right now
Yeah.
to explore that potential?
That's the question.
This is a time full of opportunity